Hello! Whoa, sorry. Hello!
Hey everyone.
Welcome to a very exciting episode of GameWalks.
Yeah,
it is
it's been
the
a little
Monday before E3.
Yeah. And
Press conference day.
Press conference day. So probably more gets announced this day than actually at E3.
And even than like the whole rest of the year combined, in my opinion.
Yeah.
There's so much news to talk about right now.
There's a lot of stuff. I was kind of upset that my day was quite busy at work because I wasn't able to just like live stream E3 all day long.
So it started with the Microsoft press conference, then we had Ubisoft and EA, and then this evening we're having the Sony press conference, and then tomorrow morning is Nintendo, and then E3 begins.
Oh my gosh. And you're going to be there.
I'm going to be there. So expect a GameWalks update, Sans Gym from the show floor on Wednesday and Thursday.
Nice.
But yeah, man, I'm so excited. And I have to say, just going there, watching all the press conferences today just made me even more excited about all the great games that we get to see.
Finally get to see some games, right?
I know, yeah. The Xbox announcement did not include very many previews of games, but now, after today, is between the games that were announced with Xbox and Sony, and between the Ubisoft and the EA press conferences, I feel like I've got a list of at least 30 games that I want to check out on the show floor.
Yeah, that's great. No, I caught a couple minutes of the Microsoft one, and over the shoulder some of the EA one, and from what I saw, it's like cool games, some new IP, some sequels to some big franchises. So
what caught your eye at the Microsoft press conference? What title on the Xbox One are you most excited about?
So I am probably most excited. Oh gosh, there were a couple of good ones. The MGS opening was pretty sweet. It just looked great. Had all the production values you'd expect from a Kojima production.
All right.
It ended with Titanfall, which is from the Respawn guys. So
former
finally,
Call of Duty creators.
Yeah, so finally, after all the legal snafus and all the lawsuits, all that stuff, we're finally getting to see the games that those guys are going to create. And Titanfall looks pretty cool. It looks very similar in feel and art style and gameplay as Call of Duty and Modern Warfare.
Well, that's why they partnered with those guys, right?
Yeah, which is what they do. So, I'm perfectly happy getting a 95 rated good first-person shooter on next gen from those guys.
Yeah.
And so it just looked great. It looked polished. It looked, lots of fun. Some really cool mechanics. Kind of a new sci-fi meets kind of modern setting. And
so how are you feeling about the launch titles for Xbox One and PS4?
So that's
is
what
this going to be worth seeing?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I watched enough to understand what was a launch title and what wasn't. So, I don't know, do you know more about what's actually a launch?
No, but I mean, presumably the titles that they were showing off had Xbox One support, right? I didn't mean to say launch title as in the day the console comes out, will you be able to play?
Yeah, I mean, if you count like 6 months out, right?
Yeah.
So like spring 2014.
Yeah.
Some stuff looks pretty good. Again, a lot of it doesn't look too crazy next gen to me in terms of like.
Well, you shouldn't be expecting that.
Yeah, but in terms of just solid titles that will be a lot of fun to play, that would inspire me to buy the console if they were exclusive to that console. Yeah, I would probably do it.
I'm pretty excited about the fact that we don't actually have a huge graphical revolution, because to me that means we might be able to see all the passion and excitement and creativity and energy around, a revitalized industry around these launches, except since there's no beautiful graphics to point to as the main innovation, it's going to force people to channel all that excitement and passion and creative energy into making great gameplay experiences.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
I think we could expect to see some really high production value, narrative designs and storytelling, which is so much more important to me than just the gameplay.
Yeah, and I mean, you're going to see some great new multiplayer stuff. I saw the announcement for Dark Souls 2, and that looks really cool. And they showed Rise, which looks kind of like 300 the movie, the game.
Yeah, and it's got some Kinect elements, right?
With more quick time events than God of War. And so, yeah, I mean, lots of good titles that I think are going to be coming out. And of course, they also, in a very odd fashion, announced the price point.
Right,
it was really quick. It wasn't, like Apple when they do they'll be reveal. And this is now when we're going to announce the price point, get a big slide, and you'll get this for a low price of, whatever. And this was just like Phil Spencer just kind of under his breath being like, it'll be available in November for $4.99. And then kind of went on to the next thing. And then people kind of like did the half clap of like, oh, am I supposed to be excited about that? Wait, what? Like no slide, no nothing. And so
it sounds like you're not excited about that.
I was surprised. It feels about $100 too much to me.
Wow.
I thought what would have been their strategy of trying to make this more of a mass market device that they would get into a lot of homes, it being such a multimedia everything box.
That's priced for mass market though. I mean, that's priced to be competitive with an iPad, a Kindle Fire. It's priced to be cheaper than an iPhone.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't, yeah.
And then just think about it.
Okay, here's the thing. If you have an iPad 2, let's say, okay, how likely, if you're just an average user of your iPad 2, how likely were you to buy an iPad 3? Because really, that's kind of the difference.
What if your iPad 2 came out 10 years ago, though?
No, but I mean, you look at the difference, like iPad 2 to iPad 3. What is it? A little bit lighter, get your Retina display.
Yeah.
Some faster processor, something, I don't know what else it has.
Some games you can only play on it.
Yeah, maybe some games like Injustice or something that you can only reliably play on it. But it's not like a leaps and bounds. Would you pay $600, $500 for that upgrade? Probably not. And that's kind of how I see like the 360.
I disagree with the
One
fundamental assumption that this is the equivalent of a single Apple product generation, because those are so numerous and so small, and even still they do generate so much money. To me, I have to look at what the price point was all those years ago, and correct me if I'm wrong, but it was $500 or $600, maybe even more for some of them.
The PS3 was $600, and a lot of people think that was a nail in the coffin for their launch. That it was too exclusive. It was like trying to say, we're too badass, and you're gonna.
But adjust those prices
for
inflation. Adjust those prices for inflation. That's like I could expect the Xbox to launch at an $800 price point.
Yeah, but it's also not. I mean, like it's not like the economy is like phenomenal.
No,
still
I know.
Like in this kind of spot where, for your average family, that might be a pretty big purchase. And so, I thought it would be like $399. Honestly, I mean, $100 probably not the biggest thing. It's more expensive than when I think the Xbox 360 launched, which might have been at $399.
Right.
And I thought that was a good strategy for Microsoft to get it into more homes and win on quantity versus the PlayStation. So it was a little bit surprising to me.
But we don't know the Sony price point yet, so who knows? It may still be cheaper.
Yeah, so I mean, it was just interesting to me. It was a little bit surprising, and it was also just surprising how they announced it with it felt like under the breath, not a lot of details about what you'll get with it.
But it does include the Kinect, for better or for worse.
Yeah, for better or for worse.
We'll see.
But you already pre-ordered yours, right?
Yeah, well, my attitude there is you can always cancel the pre-order, no penalty on Amazon, so I figured I might as well pre-order it so that way I have it. I can guarantee I'm going to get it on launch day, and if I decide down the line that I don't want it, I could just cancel the pre-order. But if I decide down the line that I do want it, you know what I mean?
Now, don't get me wrong. I'm probably going to buy it, and they'll get that, 500.
I really hope they sort out all these online concerns, though.
That's the thing, is that they got a lot of stuff they didn't obviously talk about still, that gamers are concerned about.
Well,
and so, we'll see.
You have to connect to the internet once every 24 hours, which doesn't seem like a big deal, but man, if you've ever had your internet go out, or even something silly like, your router stops working, or I don't know, there's so many things that could go wrong.
Don't live in San Francisco, or whatever.
Or you don't have reliable wireless.
Yeah, so, I think they still probably have some questions to answer, but from the little bits I saw from their press conference, it sounds like a good showcase of games.
Yeah.
And so I think they probably did that right in terms of showing lots of new games and both a mix of new IP and franchise sequels.
So I think my strategy when I get to the E3 show floor is going to be to get there, 20 minutes, half hour early, so that I'm right up against the door, and then run straight in on Wednesday morning to get in line for the Xbox One, because I think there's going to be a long line for it. Get my hands on time with it. Then do all the other software demos, all the different games throughout the rest of the day. Then do the same thing on Thursday. Get there, press myself up against the door so I could just sprint in and be one of the first ones to check out the PS4. Because I remember last time the big console was announced, the lines can get 3 or 4 hours long to check out this hardware.
It's like you go the whole
and this
day.
isn't even open to the public. This is just for, industry and press folks to check it out. So I think I have to, prioritize that stuff early in the morning and then check out the games. But there are a lot of games that I'm excited about too. So that was the Microsoft press conference. Then we watched bits of the EA press conference, and I have to say, I was surprised. There were a lot of surprises at the EA press conference.
So I only watched a couple clips on Kotaku when I got a few minutes of downtime.
Well, I mean, just the sheer volume of games they announced. So they announced Mirror's Edge